Hi, I'm Luke Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis. In other videos, you've seen me talk about the unconscious mind, conscious mind distinction. In this video, I'm going to explain hypnosis again without once referring to the unconscious mind. For a hypnotherapist, I rarely talk about the unconscious mind in my practice or in my teachings, even though I am clearly practicing hypnosis. The main reason for it is because the unconscious mind is, like it says, unconscious, out of conscious awareness. We have models for it, but it's kind of like peering into a dark room. We can only guess as to what's on the inside. I think that anybody working with or speaking about the human mind in the 21st century has to do so with the humility of knowing that we're only in roughly the first century or so of the modern study of the human mind. And the first century of biology, chemistry, physics made a lot of mistakes. At the same time, I still have a practice, I still work with clients, and my clients still get results. And this video is about how. The first analogy I'm going to use to explain how hypnosis works is the experience of listening to a storyteller or a sermon or a lecture. When you attend such a lecture or sermon or speech, you're able to be affected by the words being spoken. Your opinions will be affected. Your perspectives and thoughts will be affected. Your knowledge will be affected. And a very good lecture or a very good sermon can affect the way you think about a topic for literally the rest of your life. Even if you attend the sermon or the lecture when you're an adult, we human beings have the ability to learn in our adult lives and even well into old age. So the first human characteristic that hypnosis makes use of is our ability to be affected by another person's well-chosen and well-spoken words. And that's an example that doesn't use formal hypnosis. People attending a conference or a lecture usually have their eyes open and are taking notes, and yet they are allowing the speaker to affect the way they think and feel about the topic. The second analogy that I'm going to use is that hypnosis feels like that state of mind when you're half awake and half asleep. It's the state of mind that you're in when you're drifting off to sleep at night or waking up in the morning. It's also the state of mind you're in if you're nodding off on a train or in a plane. In such a state, you aren't thinking as logically or rationally as you usually are. Often your imagination almost seems to take a life of its own, and you have some of the most original or even bizarre ideas that you take as a matter of fact when you're in such a state. So my best explanation of what hypnosis should feel like is that it's like you're half awake and half asleep. Your eyes will be closed, you will be relaxed, and at the same time, the hypnotist will be speaking to guide your thoughts and your imagination. And that addresses some of the biggest misconceptions about hypnosis, because you can't expect to be fully asleep, nor are you actually under someone else's control. Even the best speaker will not be able to convince you of any idea that you utterly, adamantly refuse to accept. In other words, hypnosis makes people more suggestible, but not completely suggestible. The analogy isn't that you, as the client, are a patient undergoing surgery by the hypnotist, who by analogy is the surgeon, where you're completely unconscious and the hypnotist does all the work. Instead, it's more like the hypnotist is a piano instructor or a golf instructor, and you're the student showing up to learn how to play the piano or to learn how to play golf. The instructor can show you and teach you with words, by painting mental images with analogies, how to think about whatever problem you have or whatever situation you're in. But it's up to you, the client or the student, to take on the ideas, to listen and to learn carefully. So asking whether hypnosis works is a little bit like asking whether piano lessons work. It depends very much on the student and what they bring to the table. Also, asking whether or not you can be hypnotized also is like whether or not you can play the piano. People who are more motivated are more successful, and also sometimes people are very motivated, but they don't have a lot of natural talent. In that case, they can just do the best with what they have. So as you've been able to see and to hear, there isn't any reason to bring in the concept of the unconscious mind in your understanding of hypnosis or my practice of hypnosis. All it requires is you as the client to be able to suspend analytical thought and to suspend disbelief, and the hypnotist to speak clearly, articulately, and well for hypnosis to occur. It's when these two things occur and both the teacher and the student show up ready to do work, that's where the magic happens. Until next time, I'm Luke Chao from the Morpheus Clinic for Hypnosis, where we make hypnosis make sense.